K2 is not just a mountain, it is a legend that stands tall and proud in the Karakoram range. It is a challenge that has tested the courage, strength and determination of climbers from all over the world. Known as the Savage Mountain, K2 rises to 8,611 meters, 28,251 feet, making it the second highest peak on Earth. However, it is widely regarded as the most difficult to climb. While Mount Everest attracts thousands of climbers each year, K2 is reserved for the boldest and most skilled mountaineers. The risks are immense, the journey is treacherous, but the reward is unmatched. K2 is not just a test of physical endurance, it is a test of the human spirit. What makes K2 so special? K2 is located in the Karakoram range, which stretches across Pakistan, India and China. This range is known for its breathtaking beauty, with towering peaks, vast glaciers and rugged terrain. K2 stands on the border of Pakistan and China, forming part of the Karakoram National Park in Pakistan. But its imposing presence, sharp ridges and icy slopes make it one of the most awe-inspiring mountains in the world. Unlike Everest, which has relatively straightforward climbing routes, K2 offers no easy path to the summit. Every route is dangerous, requiring climbers to face steep inclines, icy walls and unpredictable weather. This is why K2 has earned nicknames like the Killer Mountain and the Savage Mountain. The fatality rate is chilling. For every 4 climbers who reach the top, 1 does not return. This statistic alone highlights the extraordinary difficulty of the climb. What makes K2 even more remarkable is the low number of successful summits. While over 6,000 climbers have reached the top of Everest, only about 400 have conquered K2. This stark contrast shows just how challenging K2 is. It is not just a mountain, it is a symbol of human ambition and resilience. The dangers of K2. Climbing K2 is not just a physical challenge, it is a battle against some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Let's explore the key dangers that make K2 so formidable. 1. Unpredictable weather. The weather on K2 is one of its most dangerous aspects. The mountain creates its own microclimate, which means conditions can change rapidly and without warning. Climbers often face strong winds, blizzards and freezing temperatures. Winds on K2 can exceed 200 km/h 125 mph, strong enough to blow climbers off their feet. Temperatures can drop to 50 degrees 58 degrees, making frostbite and hypothermia constant threats. Climbers often spend weeks at base camp, waiting for a brief weather window to make their ascent. Even during these windows, the weather can suddenly turn deadly. Storms can trap climbers high on the mountain, cutting off their chances of survival. The unpredictability of K2's weather is one of the reasons why so few have succeeded in reaching its summit. 2. Treacherous terrain. The terrain of K2 is another major challenge. The mountain is steep, icy, and filled with dangers at every step. Unlike Everest, which has a relatively smooth route on its south side, K2 offers no such comfort. Every route to the top is technical and demanding. Climbers must navigate icy walls, deep crevasses, and unstable slopes. One of the most notorious sections of the climb is the Bottleneck. This narrow passage, located just below the summit, is surrounded by massive ice blocks called seracs. These seracs can collapse without warning, sending tons of ice crashing down onto climbers. Many tragedies on K2 have occurred in the Bottleneck, making it one of the most feared parts of the climb. 3. Altitude sickness. As climbers ascend K2, the air becomes thinner and oxygen levels drop dramatically. At altitudes above 8,000 meters, known as the death zone, the human body begins to shut down. Every step becomes a monumental effort, and climbers must battle extreme fatigue, nausea and headaches. Some develop life-threatening conditions like pulmonary edema or cerebral edema, which can cause fluid buildup in the lungs or brain. Even with supplemental oxygen, climbers must be extremely cautious. Decisions made at such high altitudes can mean the difference between life and death. The combination of physical exhaustion and lack of oxygen makes K2 one of the toughest climbs in the world. 4. Mental and emotional challenges. Climbing K2 is not just a test of physical strength, it is a test of mental and emotional resilience. Climbers face extreme exhaustion, sleepless nights, and constant fear of avalanches or equipment failure. The isolation and harsh conditions can take a toll on even the most experienced climbers. In such situations, staying focused and making the right decisions becomes incredibly difficult. Stories of triumph and tragedy. K2's history is filled with stories of incredible bravery and heartbreaking loss. Let's take a closer look at some of the most significant events. The first ascent, July 31st, 1954. The first successful climb of K2 was achieved by an Italian expedition. Achille Compagnoni and Lino Lacedelli reached the summit on July 31st, 1954, making history. However, their journey was not without controversy. Another climber on their team, Walter Bonatti, was left in freezing conditions overnight, leading to allegations of betrayal. Despite these challenges, the success of the Italian team proved that K2 could be conquered, inspiring climbers around the world. The tragic summer of 1986. The summer of 1986 was one of the darkest periods in K2's history. During that season, 13 climbers lost their lives in a series of accidents. Avalanches, sudden storms, and bad decisions led to a string of tragedies that shook the climbing community. This summer became a turning point, highlighting the need for better planning and coordination on K2 expeditions. The 2008 disaster. One of the most infamous incidents on K2 occurred in August 2008. 11 climbers from various expeditions died after an ice rack collapsed in the Bottleneck, severing the ropes that climbers used to ascend and descend. Some climbers were stranded in the death zone without any way to return. Survivors like Marco Confortola later recounted harrowing stories of survival, describing how they had to fight against extreme odds to make it back alive. Why do people climb K2? Given all these dangers, why do people still dream of climbing K2? The answer lies in the human spirit. K2 represents the ultimate challenge, a test of strength, skill, and determination. For climbers, reaching the summit of K2 is not just an achievement, it is a symbol of what humans can accomplish when they push their limits. K2 is more than a mountain. It is a symbol of ambition, courage, and the desire to overcome the impossible. Climbers are drawn to its beauty, its difficulty, and the sense of accomplishment that comes with standing on its peak. For many, the journey to K2 is not just about the climb, it is about discovering who they are and what they are capable of. In recent years, modern technology has made climbing K2 a bit safer. Climbers now have access to better equipment, including lightweight clothing, GPS devices, and high-tech oxygen systems. Satellite weather forecasts allow climbers to plan their ascent more carefully, reducing the risks of sudden storms. Rescue operations have also improved. Helicopters and specialized rescue teams can now reach higher altitudes, offering some hope for stranded climbers. However, even with these advances, K2 remains one of the most dangerous mountains in the world. It demands respect, preparation, and unwavering determination. Despite its dangers, K2 continues to inspire climbers from around the world. It is not just a mountain, it is a dream. For those who dare to take on this challenge, K2 offers the chance to test their limits and achieve greatness. If you are someone who dreams big and loves challenges, K2 might be calling you. It is not an easy dream, but it is one worth pursuing. Climbing K2 requires careful preparation, strong teamwork, and a deep respect for nature. It teaches you that success is not just about reaching the top, it is about the journey, the struggle, and the lessons learned along the way. K2 is more than just a mountain. It is a story of triumph and tragedy, of courage and resilience. It reminds us that the greatest challenges are often the most rewarding. For those who dream of adventure, K2 offers the ultimate test. So what about you? Are you ready to face the savage mountain? If you are, remember to respect the mountain, prepare well, and never give up. The journey may be tough, but the reward is beyond words. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow dreamers, and subscribe for more stories of adventure, inspiration, and human achievement. The Explorer signing off.